Okay, good morning everybody. It's time for another pattern. Oops, my phone just tilted funny. Okay, go to pattern-collections.com and scan down here to pattern focus. Oh, before I do that, it's beginning of the week. Let's go to weekly string and see what the weekly string might look like. You'll know that I haven't done a string in a little while. They just haven't spoken to me. But I want to show you what it is. There's string number 55. It looks like it's a graduated circles. Yeah, that one doesn't speak to me either. You know, if I come across a pattern and it says, it just tells me, you know, that string is something that it wants, I will go back and use it, but I don't know that I will. Pattern focus is where you're going to find today's pattern. We are quickly approaching the end of the month. See, look it, 2 more days, today and tomorrow. That's it. All right. So this one is called Holiday Flower. This one's done by Nicole Dreyer. And let me zoom you in just a little bit. Okay, so first we're going to make a V shape. That's step 1. Hang on a second. Is to make a V shape. And then you're going to echo that by making another one so that this one's a little less curvy. So you basically want like V-shaped petal there, or a V-shaped leaf type of thing. I don't know. And then you're going to put a double row of arcs like that. And then in the middle you're going to make a big arch like that, like a petal shape. And then you're going to do 2 more on either side. And that's the whole thing right there. And then the sample tile shows it here in the corners. And we'll see what I come up with to use for this. Now I need to turn on my light. Zoom me back out a little bit and turn on my light. Maybe if I can get my light on. All right. Get you settled there. Okay. Looks good. Okay, so I'm just thinking. I'm just going to start with one here. Like that. And like that. Zoom in. A couple of arches. One petally shape here. And one here. And one there. That's it. That's this pattern. I'm just gonna do some more of them around, and maybe I'll do them opposites first and then see. Yeah, I think that's good. So how are you guys? How was your weekend? Mine was busy. We had the memorial service for that young man from our congregation. So yeah, it was a hard day. But it was good to see he had this group of friends that really supported one another. It was nice to see this group of young men that just really cared for each other, and it was a group of 8 of them, I think it was, 8 or 9 of them, and almost all of them spoke and told about how the young man really affected them, how he was like just always inclusive of new people. Most of them were people who had moved to the neighborhood and they didn't have any friends, and Mike was the first one to befriend them. And so it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Go like this. Really, you can see a little bit through right there. Like that. I'm really happy with this, the way it's going so far. I'll go ahead and put those behind there. Just a little bit. And we had that memorial service at another church, because we have a really small church, and they figured there would be several hundred people there, and there were. I don't think anybody actually counted, but we're estimating that about 300 or so were there. And our church does not really, only supposed to hold 250, and at that's not comfortable. It's like elbow to elbow. So yeah, it was better that it was at a different church. But what I thought was kind of sad, interesting but sad, is that I was talking to my pastor. He said that they worked really hard with the church secretary of the other church. It's a big church, probably, my guess is over 1,000 members. We only have like 100 members. And they were working with the church secretary, saying, we're going to bring food, and we have this many volunteers coming, and so forth and so on. And that church's secretary said, "Wow, you must really have a big church." And I'm like, "No, we have a really small church." And she said, "Well, you said you're going to have maybe 20 or 30 people coming ahead of time to help set up for the reception." And I said, "Yeah, that's about right." Because there's 9 or 10 deacons and their spouses, so that's about 20 people, and some others who are willing to come and help that aren't amongst the deacons. And the church secretary there was really surprised at the number of volunteers we have, and she said that it would take a lot for them to have 20 volunteers from their church. And we were wondering, how could that be? I mean, their church is 10 times bigger than ours, and they would not have as many volunteers. And And I'm thinking that's because once a church gets super big, that it's more of an institution than a family. I mean, we consider ourselves a family. And, you know, just like if you were having an event at mom's house, you know, all the siblings come and help, right? It's kind of like that with our church, you know. It's something for one of our own, and, you know, everybody comes out and helps. Nobody wants somebody else to be stuck with doing everything. You know, it's like, oh, wow. Thanks, Diane, for taking on, you know, all of this coordinating. But, you know, we don't want Diane to do it all by herself. And apparently, once you get into a larger church venue, people just sort of assume that, you know, somebody else is going to do it. And they don't really think about that a volunteer is actually needed. I don't know. But we just found it interesting and sad all at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if it's just our church's culture, or if it's because we are a small church, or if it's just, I don't know what it is. People have said when they come to our church that our church is different, that that we're not the same as everybody else. And I guess I'm going to take that as a compliment, that, you know, for the most part, we treat everybody who walks through our doors as a member of the family. And other places don't. There was a period of time where I was exploring going to other venues. There was some things happening that I wasn't comfortable at my location, and you know, I went out and I started searching for maybe a new church home, and I did find that you know, as a stranger in a new church, almost nobody greeted me. And certainly nobody invited me to sit with them during coffee hour, or you know, inquired about who I was or why I was there. And it's so different at our church. You know, if a stranger walks in, we know it. You know, there's not that many people. Church only has about 100 members. And so on any one given Sunday, there's probably only maybe 50 or 60 people in the sanctuary. You know everybody. You know who's not been there before. And there's always somebody who will come up to you and greet you and say, thank you for coming today, and what's your name, and how did you hear about us? You know, are you just visiting, or are you looking for a church home? And I guess it's just a different culture than in most places, and I hadn't really realized that was what was happening until I went out and started looking on my own for someplace else that I might feel comfortable. And I never found a place. And we've resolved the differences I had, and I'm feeling okay about staying. But that totally inclusive feeling that I have at our church, I didn't find it at any place else. Now, I didn't go to every single church in a, 10-mile radius. I didn't. And so I can't say that there aren't other churches out there that have that. But I can say that of the 10 or so that I went to, we are unique in that. And it makes me proud. It really does. Maybe I shouldn't be proud, but it makes me feel good that we treat the stranger the same way we treat our family, our church family. And I think that same culture was the culture of inclusion that Mikey had with his friends. And it made a huge difference in those boys' lives. And listening to their testimony was just so moving. There we go. I like that. I'm good with that. I'm just kind of talking and not paying attention really hard about thought process of what I'm doing here. And I like the way it came out. All right. I'm just going to leave it just like that. This one is Holiday Flower. I almost feel like it needs some color, but I don't have my color pencils with me. I still haven't gotten myself all together here from when I had to take apart my house for family to come visit. I'll just do right here, I think. Maybe a little bit coming up on the sides right there where that piece overlaps, perhaps. Oh my goodness. Such a busy day. We finally, today, finally, it is not blazing hot. Even yesterday it was like in the 90s. Saturday was like 97. Yesterday was, I don't know, 94, 95. It was in the 90s. Today it's only 61. Crazy how it changed that fast, but I'm grateful for it. And maybe we'll actually have some fall weather or winter weather. That would be nice. Actually slept without the air conditioner on last night. That was nice too. Give myself a little blending here. I think I'm going to need some in here too. The stipple is good. It gives you that idea, but I think I want some graphite in there as well. Makes them look like some sort of seed pod, even though that's not how it was originally intended. It's kind of how it came out. I like it. All right, are you done? I think you're done. Excuse me. That was quick. That was easy. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks, Nicole, for such a beautiful pattern that we can use in all sorts of different ways. I'm going to go check my thingamabob here, and I will be back. All right, bye. Bye-bye.